Jumbo, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Jumbo, Jumbo, Jumbo. Jumbo, everybody. Good. Jumbo, good morning. See. All right. Clicking the buttons here. Good morning. Jumbo. Today, our topic is nobody ever asked you to calculate the numbers. The numbers nobody ever asked you to calculate. The numbers nobody ever asked you to calculate. The numbers nobody ever asked you to calculate is add, we will be talking about. That is the topic I'll be teaching on today. The numbers nobody ever asked you to calculate. You wonder, what are these numbers that nobody ever asked me to calculate? That is the right question, and we will dive in. Think about the last time something you valued was formerly valued, right? Like think about something that you owned and when it was formerly valued. A house before it was sold, a car before it was traded in, a piece of jewelry that was appraised for insurance. In every one of these moments, someone sat down and built a number, right? Somebody sat down and did some calculations. They did not just guess what it was. They used a method, a square footage, a condition, a comparison, sales, and age of the product, materials, but there was always a process that went into it. Again, take a moment. Think about the last time something you owned was formerly valued. If you have never valued anything in the chat box, please drop it in the comment. Let me know you've never valued anything. If you have, whether it is a house, whether it is a car, whether it was jewelry, drop it in the comment. What was it that you asked somebody to calculate the value of that product for you? Is it your company? Did you calculate the value of your company? What was it? You can put that in the comment. You can think about it. If you're listening to this audially, think about it in your head. Make a mental note of it. What is it that you valued? And when was the last time you valued that thing? So it's not just value as in the word value, but valuation. Like take a valuation of the thing, get an appraisal of the thing. Now think about businesses. Before a company is sold, before an investor puts in money, before a business goes public, someone calculates what it is worth. Even companies that are not yet profitable, companies whose value is mostly about what they might become, go through this. Someone builds a model, makes assumptions, defends the numbers, and revises it as new information comes in. We all know of these companies. Even before SpaceX, which is the big one that happened recently, SpaceX went live, people already said, oh, this company is valued at. When you want to sell your car, if you're reselling your car, you're like, oh, this car is valued at. So every time we have something that we consider is very valuable, we put a number to it, and we have a calculator, or we go somewhere, or we see somebody that uses a process to calculate to decide what that number is. But here's what is strange. Every category that we've mentioned, or every category of valuation or valuables, I can't speak today. Every category of valuable think in the world goes through this process. Like we've stated, houses, cars, businesses, ideas, they are all going through this process, especially when they're getting packaged in the company or as a company. Sometimes you just have an idea, and that idea, you package it as a company, then you can say, oh, my company is worth blah, 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 because you have calculated everything that your company, all the ideas, the dream that you think you're going to accomplish, or everything you're going to accomplish, and you put them together, and then you say this company is this. So there's more that goes into it. So if you are an accountant and you're somebody that calculates value for companies, don't think that I'm being careless. There's more that goes into this. I'm trying to just give a general idea for people that are new into this space to be able to see for themselves, what is it that I value, and what is the value worth that I put, what is the number that I put to it. So we've talked about all the other ones that get valued, but there is one that is not generally valued. There is one that generally people don't put a number to it. Can anybody guess what that thing is? What is the one thing that we spend so much money on, we invest on, and we generally don't create a value ledger for it? That one thing is your education. Education is one of the key areas, that the key things that people do not create a value ledger for. Your expertise in general. Say you've not gone to college, your expertise. If you're a mechanic, you learned it that by doing, and never went to college, you just have this skill that you've built for over 30 years. What is the value of all of that? Have you ever taken the time to calculate it? Right? So it's not just about degrees and certificates. It's also about all the other expertise, all the other areas of expertise that you have. Think about the professionals that you know, the ones at your job site, the ones in your family. Think about these professionals. Some of them have 16, 17, 20, 30, 40 years of experience, years of education, training, certificates, judgment built through thousands of hours of real work. Some might look at it and just say, oh yeah, they just have 30 years. That's not nothing. That's a lot of years. Even if you have 2 years, that's not nothing. Even if you have 1 year, that's not nothing. All of this, by any reasonable measure, is an asset. Your expertise is an asset. And yet most professionals have never once sat down and calculated what the expertise is actually worth. Not what they are currently charging. That's not it. What it is worth. What is your expertise worth? Take a moment and just think about that. What is your expertise worth? If you want to drop it in a comment, for those of you who are listening on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or LinkedIn, YouTube, drop it in a comment. What is your expertise worth? And how did you calculate it? That's a tough one, right? These numbers, your numbers exist, but you have not taken the time to calculate it. Generally, it is guessed. You can guess, even as we speak, you can guess what that number could be. Or maybe you have a number, but it is grounded on something you inherited from somebody else, a benchmark from another company, a number that you borrowed from whatever everybody else is doing in that field in which you find yourself. One thing that I have realized, or that I realized in the past 3 years, is that everything gets formally valued except the expertise that created. And today, I would like for us to not only have a mindset shift about valuation of our expertise, but also run some numbers. I don't have a fancy board to calculate anything, so I'm just going to talk you through some numbers. All right. But before I get you the numbers, remember I do things in 3 points. I'm going to put two of our calculations in point 2 and 3, but point 1, the same categories that we use to value a house can be used to value your expertise. That's my point 1. A house appraiser looks at what was invested in it, what condition it is in, and what comparable properties have sold for. Your professional expertise can be valued the same way using 3 categories: what you have invested to build it, the value of the years of expertise, and the value of what you have created along the way. These are not abstract. As you can see, I'm grounding it in something that you already know. These are the same categories that an appraiser already uses and just applied to your situation. Once you see the categories, the calculations stops feeling like a trick. Because when I say to people, oh, this is 2.5 of what my final accumulated skill set is, someone's like, wait, what? They freak out. Or once you do it for yourself, once you calculate it for yourself, you're going to be like, what? That is too large. And it's going to be confusing for you. You're going to be like, what do I do with these numbers? That's why we're doing this today. And if you have not calculated your value yet, I can bear in gifts. You know me, I can bear in gifts. So if you have not calculated, please make sure you leave a comment, reach out to me, link in the bio, make sure that you reach out so I can give you the value ledger calculator, and also give you chapter 4 of the $1 Million Mind book, how to create a world-class coaching business from what you already know. And as I've said previously in other sessions, this book is not just for coaches, not just for consultants, right? So I want you to read it and do the calculations. That way you will see how what I'm saying really connects. In 1 hour or in 30 minutes, I cannot give you everything that will allow you to calculate your value in a very in-depth manner that helps you see the numbers and really help you think about the numbers in a way that shifts your own reality, shifts the way you look at things, shift how you calculate, or how you charge, or how you get paid at work, or how you ask for that bonus at work, or how you ask for that increase at work. So again, let me know. The $1 Million Mind, How to Build a World-Class Coaching Business from What You Already Know, is the book from which I'm speaking. And I'm here to give you the calculator for free. You can go do the calculator. It's automatic. And if you really want to go in depth, you can use chapter 4, work through chapter 4, and do the calculations. From what I've heard so far from those that have read it, they have really shifted how they think about the value they create, how they think about the value they bring to a company is worth. So I don't want you to miss out. I want you to reach out so I can give it to you for free and you can start building something that is going to lead to a major, major shift in how you look at life, you look at the skills you've created, you look at your business, you look at your pricing structure, you look at your offering models and all of that. All right. So the math is not new, as I've said. The math is not new. It is the same rigor applied everywhere else in the world, finally pointed out as at the expertise level, right? So we've said that this is used for housing, this is used for cars, this is used for appraisals of jewelry and everything that you think is valuable to you. So the math is not new. It is the same rigor applied everywhere else in the world, finally pointed at the expertise that you have been creating value all along, that has been creating value all along for you. Let's go to point two. Let's go to point two and start running some numbers. I'm not a mathematician, but I love numbers. I love numbers. I love numbers. I love seeing things in numbers. I love seeing them in pictures. I love seeing them in numbers. So I remember the first time I saw a coach write out an entire project on how to get to $1 million. If you haven't, free resource, go find Myron Gordon, look at his calculations on how to get your business to 1 million, and look at those numbers, right? Like I saw those numbers, I'm like, ooh, I love numbers. So I'm going to not pretend to be Myron Gordon here, but I'm going to give you some numbers that truly changed my life and changed how I looked at my skills. Because the thing that I was struggling with was how much how much do I charge for per hour? How much do I charge for this consulting job? How much do I charge for this coaching job? Right? People come to me and I would not know how much to charge. So I had to work through what I'm teaching you. I'm not teaching you from something I have not experienced. I'm literally telling you the struggle that I had and saying, if this is not your struggle, that's okay. This is not your struggle. That's okay. I am very happy that you don't have that struggle. But if you have that struggle where you think you're not getting paid your worth, then here is the place. This is the space to figure out, how do I get paid my worth, right? And again, I have always said that I don't want you to get cocky, if I could say that. I don't want you to get cocky and go out there and start saying, oh, I am worth $10,000 an hour. I'm not going to talk to anybody if they don't give me $10,000 an hour, right? So that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Even if you know that you're worth $100 an hour and you're breaking in, and there's situations where you can take your valuation to a lower percentage so that you can break into an industry, that's fine. I am not here to get people to get stuck in a place that they cannot build from. So everything that I've done in the calculations that I'm going to share with you with these two examples is to give you a ground floor so that you can build from, right? And to shift your mindset and to shift how you look at money and look at how you calculate the expertise that you've earned, especially those of us that are coming from universities with big degrees. What are these degrees that you've had worth, right? I know somebody that said, um, we there's somebody with a PhD that is working security. How do you get a PhD and you go work security? There is a mindset shift there, right? Because you're looking for work and looking for work and looking for work and looking for work, and then you're not getting work. But you have been empowered and equipped with so much resources, so much education, so much skills over your lifetime, or even through the time that you were going to school. Thank you for the roses. Thank you for going to school. Oh, did I see that right? Thank you, TikTok. Thank you to all of you that are watching from TikTok. Thank you. And everywhere else, thank you. Just want to take a moment and say thank you. All right, so let's go back into it. So think about this person that had a PhD and had to go work as security. They have everything it takes. They've gone to school, they've done the work. They probably know that they deserve more than working security and getting paid maybe minimum wage or $20 an hour. But they have not sat down to figure out how to translate their expertise into something that solves a problem for somebody else. They're waiting, they're constantly waiting for somebody to hire them and pay them. And then they get hired by somebody, and the person pays them an amount that is not even sustainable, right? They're still in that field. They've now left the security job. They've gotten a job for in the skill set that they went to school for, but they're still not getting paid correctly. Not even correctly, they're just not getting paid what they are worth. What do you do? What do you do with a PhD, a doctorate, a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, and you cannot find work that will pay you what that degree is worth, right? So even though I am passionate about asking you to get paid your worth in whatever job you're doing, I want you to be very clear about the realities of life and know that sometimes you are going to have to go out there and create the solutions. Create the solutions for somebody else and create the work for yourself. Because waiting on companies to pay you what you're worth might not be as easy to come by as you think. You might be able to do it, but it might not be as easy. In my last session, I mentioned that I was told to dumb down my degree so that I can enter an entry level and work my way up. Master's degree, but they want me to enter with a bachelor's. Doctorate degree, but they want me to enter with a bachelor's, right? And there's a lot of people that have to dumb down their degrees in order just to get their foot in the door in a company and then prove their worth within that company. Not saying anything is wrong with that. So that's something that other people do. But what if you could create a solution for somebody? Find people that have problems that your skill set can actually solve that problem for, and then create a solution for them, and then go tell them that you have the solution. I'm here to tell you that I have the solution for you if you're struggling to figure out what it is that you can offer to somebody else, what problem you can solve with your skill set. I'm here to tell you that even if you have the highest degree and you're not getting work, that I can help you with your skill set to be able to craft an offer that allows you to go solve problem for other people and create impact. So you're not only going to do work that somebody else is going to pay you for because you're solving a problem for them, you're also going to create work that is fulfilling because you're creating impact. Every time you're solving a problem for somebody, you're creating impact for that person. And then you're allowing that person to go create impact for somebody else. So it's going to be more fulfilling. Instead of staying in that security job, instead of staying in that minimum wage job, maybe keep the minimum wage job, keep the security job so you're not homeless, and then come build something that will allow you to be able to solve problems for other people and actually get paid your worth. All right, let's go into the examples that I mentioned for point 2 and point 3. Point 2, working the calculation. Let's work the calculation for James. So point 2 is working the calculation for James, an HR director with 16 years of experience. All right, James's total cost invested, which are his bachelor's degree, his master's degree, his certifications and his renewals, and his conferences and continuing education for over 16 years, all added up for an estimated number of $145,000. Experience value, James's experience value, 16 years multiplied by $10,000 per year, equaling $160,000. Resource library value, the frameworks that he built for onboarding, for performance management, for compensation structures across multiple organizations is valued here at $20,000. The total value is 145,000 plus 160,000 plus 20,000, which is equal to 325,000. If the math is wrong, drop it in the comment. Drop it in the comment. So the total value that he has built is 145,000 plus 160,000 plus 20,000, which we have concluded it's 325. At a 2.5% of that is 8,125 per client per year, right? So if we were calculating what he is going to go out there and charge per year as a coach, then let's say he is going to charge at 2.5% of the 325,000 that he has accumulated. He only charges 2.5%, giving 8,125 per year, which is roughly 156 per week. That's all in dollars, right? All in dollars. Again, if you want to do your calculation, you can use what I just said, or you can ask for the value ledger, which will send it to you for free. Chapter 4, which will send it to you for free. That way you can read, work your own numbers, figure out where you fall, figure out, do you want to charge a 2.5% of what you've built over the years? What is it that you want to charge? What are you comfortable charging? How much is that person able to afford that you want to work with? Your ideal client, is your ideal client able to afford that amount? So you want to charge a percentage that is feasible, because somebody might do 2.5% and their 2.5% might be $100,000 a year. Can you find the people that are willing to pay you $100,000 a year? I'm not saying those don't exist. Can you find the people that are willing to pay you $100,000 a year for the skills that you bring, for your expertise? If you can find those people, go for it and come and tell me so I can celebrate you. So the 325,000 is not a number James invented, as we have seen. It is a number that was already true before this calculation happened. The calculation did not create the value. It just revealed the value that James has created over the years. Now let's go to example number 2. So James is a coach. This next example is not, the person is not a coach, right? So the same number, completely different field. Patricia, let's talk about Patricia. Patricia is a nurse. Patricia is a nurse practitioner with 18 years of experience. The total cost invested, which include her bachelor's degree, her master's degree, her nurse practitioner degree, her continuing educations and licensing renewals over 18 years, adding up to $161,000. Her experience value, 18 years multiplied by 10 per year equal 180,000. And again, this per year value is a very conservative value that we're just estimating for each year of work that these people have put in or expertise that they have built, right? So her experience value is for 18 years at 10,000 per year is calculated at 180,000. Her resource library, which is the clinical protocols, patient education materials, care frameworks that she had developed and refined, conservative number of $20,000. The total value she's built, 160,000 plus 180,000 plus 20,000 now brings us at 361,000. And if the math is wrong, please say something in a comment. Say something in a comment. Comment, and let me know the numbers are wrong. And then let's calculate that at 2.5%. 2.5% is 9,025 per year. 9,025 per year. Notice that James and Patricia are in completely different fields and their numbers land close together, around 225 and $360,000. This is not how prestigious or how high paying the field is. So this calculation is not based on that. It is about the actual investment and accumulated experience, which tend to be substantial across many or any serious profession, right? So in every serious profession, these numbers are going to be very substantial. It's not just something that you make up. No, it's something that you pull from what you put in. What you put in. When you were working, what did you do? What did you do when you were working? Did you build more expertise while you were working? Did you build more skills that allow other people to benefit from those skills today? What was it that you built? If you work in a field that is not coaching, not consulting, this is exactly the point. The math does not care about your job title. It cares about what you have built. So if you work in a field, it doesn't matter which field. The math is not about the company or the field. It's about what you have built. Now, you might be questioning why 2.5%? Why 2.5%? What is the deal with the 2.5%? Why not 10% of what I have built? Why not 5% of what I have built? 2.5% is intentionally conservative. It is a floor, not the ceiling. For James, 2.5% of the total value built is 8,125 per year, which for an experienced HR consultant is close to, sometimes below, what a confident practitioner could already be charging. So I'm not saying that that is what everybody out there is charging. This is not financial advice. These are examples. These are mental simulations that I'm creating for you. So I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm giving you simulations based on the data that I have and my own experiences and how I see people charging based on what they are worth. So my model was to be able to calculate what my expertise is worth. The same, but not exactly as somebody would appraise a house, a car, jewelry before they sell it. So when I say that James is at 8,125 per year, that is not outrageous. There's several people that charge their clients way more than that per year. But at least for James, they can see why charging one client $8,125 per year is not so overwhelming. It doesn't feel so out of touch. You can actually double. James can actually double his numbers. James could say, I am going to double it to from 2.5 to 1 to 5%. And if he doubles, it will be 16,250, which starts to feel like a bigger leap for somebody who has never charged anything close to that before. Or if you don't know the kind of people that will pay you $16,250 a year for your expertise, then it feels like you're overcharging. It feels like you're trying to to charge what you're not worth. But once you calculate the number 16,250 for a year for what James has built, somebody else is going to pay it without even blinking because they know the value of what James brings to them. So, do you know the value of what you bring to people? Do you know the kind of solution that you're creating for people? And if you do know the kind of solution that you're creating for people and the value that it creates for that person, are you charging therefore what you're worth? Are you charging therefore what your skill set is worth? So 2.5% is the floor. I just want you to recognize that. I don't want you to stay in disbelief. I want the numbers to support what I am saying. That way, the mindset shift doesn't just come from, oh, Dr. Akumbu said this or said that. No, you look at the number and your mindset shifts comes from actually doing your own calculations. Once you've built a business around that number or your own number, then there's room to go further. You can choose to go up or go down, right? You could say, okay, I am dealing with an audience that cannot afford, like say you're good-hearted servant leader wants to go out there and do something for a demographic that cannot afford what you charge per year, right? What are you going to do? You're going to lower it again. You're going to say instead of 1%, you're not decreasing your prices, you're customizing your pricing, right? You customize it. You say, I'm going to charge you 1% of what my offer is. And then you build an offer that aligns with that 1%. That way you're not burning yourself out and not being able to pay your own bill because you lowered your percentage. My personal amount that I charge is less than 1% per year that I'm starting with. That is my floor. My floor is actually less than 1%. But I had to come to that less than 1% based on the math that I did. And based on the fact that I am a founder, right? I am in this building stage. And every year, this expertise, the books, the models that I build, as the years increase, it's just my 1% is going to go bigger. It's going to be bigger as the years proceed and I continue to develop and build and create result for people. And that's where I want you to be. Put yourself in a place where you can build and grow. So if 1% is your floor, okay, start at 1%. If 2.5% is your floor, start at 2.5%, right? And then grow from there. So, what is our takeaways for today? What I'm hoping that you've taken away from this lesson today is every category of valuable thing in the world gets formally valued except for expertise. And then I want you to reach out so I can give you the tools to calculate your expertise. The same categories used to value a house, a business can be applied for professional expertise. Again, reach out so I can give you the documents in order for you to do that, to calculate. And if you're just joining and you listen to this part way, please go back, or you listen to this as a clip, go back and watch the entire thing. That way you can see how it was laid out and what it is that you need to do to really see the numbers for yourself, for your company, for your organization. This calculation works the same way across completely different fields because it is based on investment and experience, not the title. Not the title. To close, again, reach out. This was based on the $1 Million Mind, how to create a world-class coaching business from what you already know. And I want to thank you, all of you, for joining and for being here, for listening, for the like. Thank you. So I want to say, please reach out, free give any questions. I'm willing to answer any question, give you sometime if you have an in-depth question you want me to answer. I don't mind giving you half an hour of my time to just sit down and address whatever you're struggling with. So reach out. I always come bearing gifts. Reach out. So this total value belt calculation from the $1 Million Mind, and it takes about 5 minutes to run for yourself. The framework and the free calculator will be in my bio if you want. And if you want, just comment. We will send it to you. We want you to run your numbers. Run your numbers. Know what your skill set is worth. Know what your expertise is worth. All right. I hope this was a blessing to you. And I will talk to you next time. Thank you for joining. Ciao. Jambo. Jambo is hello in Swahili. Sante sana. Thank you very much. Sante sana or Sante sana. I love Swahili. I have to sit down and learn Swahili. And for those of you, before I go, those of you who are soccer fans, this. Le Leopard de Côte d'Ivoire, congratulations for your win. Leopard de Côte d'Ivoire, congratulations for your win yesterday in the World Cup. Thank you. Thank you. That was a nice effort that you all put in. And I'm wearing my leopard to represent. I don't have your beautiful suits that you put on, but I'll find that and maybe create a digital copy of one so that I can look fly as you did. I love soccer, so I had to say something to the leopards. And again, to the United States, thank you for that 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. Woo, so proud of you, so proud of you. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye. Just had to do shout out for the soccer lovers, and all of you out there. Talk later.